Hey everyone, welcome back to eBike Random Adventures. Today we're going to be checking out this cool looking moped style bike from Talon. This one is called the Talon T757. Let me tell you about the specs of this bike. It does have a 750 watt hub drive motor in the rear. You do get a 48 volt, 13 amp hour battery tucked up under the frame here. This combination is supposed to give you speeds of up to 28 miles per hour. This is a full suspension bike, guys. It does have the dual crown fork suspension set up in the front. There are no adjustments on the front stanchions, and you do get the mono shock and spring under the seat here. This bike does come with a beautiful color display. It can be unlocked using a password or using the NFC cards. You do get a half twist throttle on this bike. It does come with mechanical disc brakes, and they do have large rotors, 180 millimeters in the front and in the rear. The bike does have 7 mechanical gears on it, and it does have a Shimano Tourney TZ derailleur. Let's talk about the overall size and fitment of the bike, guys. They do say it can fit riders from 5'3" up to 6'5", and the seat height here is 32.6 inches. This bike does come with the 20x4" fat tires, giving this bike an overall weight limit of 330 pounds. The bike itself does weigh in at 84 pounds, guys. Not too heavy. I am 6 foot tall with 32-inch inseams. The seat height is 32.6 inches. Let me show you how I fit on the bike. Standing flat-footed, I am sitting directly on the seat, guys. But this is a full suspension bike. So when you sit down, it does drop down a little bit, and you do have a little bit of cushion here in the seat. The firmness of the rear suspension is about medium, guys. That little bit of noise you hear is actually the seat squishing. The front suspension is pretty soft on this one. Let's get a closer look at the bike, then we'll take this thing for a ride. All right, guys, there's your 20x4" fat tires. They are knobby tread pattern. I don't see any particular branding on these tires. This bike does come with the quick release skewer, so you can take this tire off pretty easily with no tools. This is your front fork suspension here. No adjustments on top. You do get plastic fenders. This one does have a rounded headlight, guys, with the halo beam around it. It is a pretty bright beam in the center. Let's take a look at the bike frame. This one does have some Talon branding on it, as well as on the battery. Don't forget this one is called the T757. There's a look at your rear suspension. No adjustments on that one, guys. On the back of the frame, it does have some mounting points where you can mount an extension for a rack or something like that. The rear fender does cover the whole wheel. That's going to keep the dirt and dust off of you. Back of the bike, you do have your tail light with a brake light. And there is a little plate holder mount down here. This is what the seat looks like, guys. It's a little more narrow in the front, gets really wide at the back. Does have some really thick padding, guys. You could fit 2 riders on this, and there is a place down here for the foot pegs. All right, guys, let's take a look at the crankset. You do get the double-sided chain guard on this one. It does have the long crank arms. They are 170 millimeters, and you do get some solid plastic pedals. In the back, you do have your 7 mechanical gears on this freewheel. It does say Perk brand. You do get the Shimano Tourney TZ derailleur, and the bash guard is already installed. Here's the 750 watt hub drive motor in the rear. These are the numbers on the motor. The 48 volt, 13 amp hour battery does have the power level indicator on the top. You can press and hold that and see what the life is. This one does have the on-off switch right here. This is the charging port. It is the 5mm style charger. The bike does come with a 2 amp charger. Here's a look at the front brakes. The bike does come with mechanical disc brakes. I don't see any branding on these brakes, but they do have large rotors. You get 180 millimeters in the front and in the rear. That's the rear brake setup and the kickstand. Over on the left side, the battery does have a key slot in case you want to remove the battery to save some weight during transport, or if you want to take the battery off to charge it. You can also just charge the battery right on the bike. Let's power up the bike, guys. Press and hold this power button right here. It will ask you for a password here. You can set up your password, or you can use your NFC cards to unlock this. I'm going to use the NFC card. It is a nice color display, guys. It might flicker a little bit in the camera, but it's not doing that in real life. This is your battery level indicator up here at the top in green and red. You do have a large mile per hour reading. This is your pedal assist level right here. You can go up and down on those pedal assists right here. Let's see how many levels there are. 5 levels of pedal assist on this one. This is your odometer down here on the bottom. Cycle through that power button. You get trip, voltage, current, back to odometer. Starting on the left side, you do get some basic rubberized ergonomic hand grips, your mechanical brake levers. Your cables can be adjusted here. You do have a headlight switch right here and a horn. This one has a loud horn. This is your up and down for your pedal assist level, and this is your power button. On the right side, you do have your 7-speed Shimano mechanical gear shifter. You do have a half twist throttle, and the rear brake is on the right. The website does show that this bike comes in a class 3 configuration, 20 miles per hour on the throttle, 28 miles per hour on pedal assist, but my bike came out of the box, it was already unlocked on the throttle to 28, so there may be a procedure to unlock your bike if the throttle is locked to 20. I will show you this one runs up to 28. Give me 27.7. All right, let's take the cool looking Talon T757 out for a ride. All right guys, first thing we're gonna do is turn the power all the way off here. Let's try to pedal this bike with no power. It does have a pretty low first gear, so you can pretty easily get this bike going with no power. Bike weighs in at 84 pounds. That's not extremely heavy for a moped style bike. A lot of these are well over 100 pounds. So you can pedal the bike if you want to get a little bit of workout, or if your battery died for some reason. Not too bad. All right, let's put this power on, level 1. This bike does have a cadence sensor. Let me spin my legs, we'll see how fast this power comes on. Pretty fast. Let me try that one more time. Got a little off balance there. Spin my legs. Power comes on pretty quick, guys. Less than half a revolution of the pedals. Let's try it one more time here. I'm sure you guys can hear that, but yeah, when you're already rolling, you get a little bit of a ramp up on the cadence sensor. All right, guys, I got the speed app open here, pedal assist level 1. Pretty close on the GPS, there you go, 12 and 12. Let's bump it up to level 2 here. Pretty big boost in power. Start gearing up. I'm already in gear 5 to have a comfortable cadence in pedal assist 2, 16 miles an hour. GPS is showing 16 also. So pretty accurate here on the speedometer. Let's check real fast if the throttle is locked to the pedal assist level or not. Yes, it is. So whatever pedal assist level you're on, that's where the throttle is going to cut you off at. Let's try level 3. All right, pedal assist level 3 is giving us 20 miles an hour. I am in gear 7. I think I can pedal in gear 6 as well, yes. All right, guys, let me turn it up to 4. Four's giving me 23.5 miles an hour. You can still keep up pedaling in gear 7. All right, guys, this bike is actually feeling pretty torquey. Let me bump it up to level 5 here. We will do the hill climb, see what kind of speed we get. They do say the bike is 750 watts. They don't really make any claims about peak power or anything like that. So let's see how it does on the hill here. That will give me a little bit of insight into if it's peaking out any higher or not. Already past 20. I always start in the same spot there, so. Dropping down, doing really well though. All right, guys, the bike maintained 19 miles an hour up the hill. I can tell you right now that this bike is peaking out quite a bit higher than 750 watts. The bikes that make that kind of speed, 17, 18, 19 miles an hour up that hill, are typically 1,500 watt bikes. So I do believe this bike is peaking out somewhere higher, like up around 1,500 watts or so. All right, so the bike gave us a really good speed going up the hill there. Let me stop right here, guys. We will do an acceleration run, and then we will go and see what the top speed is. We will verify that with the GPS. Ready? Let's go. 5, 10, 15. There's 20. All right, let's see what we can get for top speed. All right, the power actually cuts you off there, so there is an electronic cutoff right here at 27.5, and I am getting that speed in the upright position. I'm not having to tuck down or anything. All right, guys, the GPS is actually showing that we hit 26 miles per hour on the run. We're showing 27.5 on board. I will run it back the other way, maybe try to put in a little bit of pedaling, see if we can get that 28 miles per hour. So since the power cuts off there at 27.7, even when you're putting in your own pedaling, that's as fast as I can get this bike to go, guys. Let's see if we went any faster running it back that direction. All right, guys, it's still showing us 26 miles per hour was our max speed, GPS verified. That is the speed I can get out of this bike. To get into the settings, guys, using the plus and minus here, you do have to input your password. I don't actually know the password. It would be in the book. I've been using just the NFC card to turn on the bike, so that's it, guys. Top speed I can get out of the bike, 26 miles per hour, GPS verified. That being said, the bike feels pretty torquey. It's got a decent acceleration. Sounds pretty cool. Get a little bit of motor whine out of it. And it does easily reach that top speed. The bike is not struggling to get up to top speed or anything like that. I can do it while I'm sitting perfectly upright in the wind. So the bike definitely has some power. If there's any way to unlock that to a higher speed, I will let you guys know in the comments. I think the bike could go a little bit faster, probably about 30, 32 miles an hour if we could get past that electronic cutoff. Just feels like it has a little bit more in it. All right, guys, you can do part throttle on this one. You can have it on level 5 and you can cruise along real slowly just using the throttle. All right, guys, let me do the brake test here. The bike does come with mechanical disc brakes. I don't see any sort of branding on them. Get up to about 20 miles an hour here. We'll pull them at the end of this pavement. All right, guys, so they're not like extreme brakes or anything like that. They definitely got the bike stopped. All right, guys, took us about 20 feet to stop there. So you're not getting hydraulic brake stopping power on this bike. You are getting mechanical disc brake stopping power on the bike. The bike is not that heavy. It weighs in at 84 pounds. The brakes are sufficient to get the bike stopped. That's an easy upgrade that you can do on a bike like this, guys. It did not lock up the tires when I pulled them. Let me try it again right here. No, it doesn't really lock up the tires on this one, but it definitely gets you stopped. So far, the brakes are not making any sort of noise or squeaking noise or anything like that, so I will definitely call that a win. I'm happy as long as my brakes are nice and quiet like this. All right, guys, let's go ride the trail here. We do have full suspension on this one. Nice. This bike's gonna have plenty of torque for trail riding. I'm just doing part throttle here, and you can just hear that motor's got the torque, you know. Let me run it down here. All right, guys, that suspension is putting in work. I can feel that. Let's hit the trail here and ride out to the lake. All right, feels pretty good, guys. You get a little bit of rebound knock on that front suspension when it pops back up. But the suspension is definitely taking up these bumps. Here's the big bumps. Handled it just fine. And I am moving out here at a pretty good rate of speed. Well, the bike got us out here, no problem. Nice. So this bike can definitely do some off-roading, guys. See if we can get up the hill here. This is the tough part. I do have it pinned right now. If you hear that little clicking, it's just these NFC cards clanging together. This is real tough for bikes, guys. It's uphill, really tall grass, a little bit damp over here, but the bike's pulling us up. All right, guys, no problem. So do I think this is gonna be a real big off-roader, guys? No, I really don't. I do feel like this is a street bike, but it does have the suspension. And if you do wanna ride a little bit of trails, you can do it. Let's cross right here. It's got enough torque to pull you along. This bike could definitely get you out to your fishing hole or something like that. As you can see here, it has no problem getting you out here. I just don't feel like this is not gonna be like a downhill bike or anything like that, guys. All right, let's check the lock over here. All right, this one can do full lock, which is an awesome feature. I'll show you why. If you are unfamiliar, you can lock this over. You can just spin the bike around right where you're sitting. These kind have really great turning radius, guys. They can turn on a dime. So this is not an expensive bike by any means, guys. This is definitely a lower priced moped style electric bike. So for the price you're paying for this bike, it actually is a pretty capable bike. You're getting full suspension on this one. You're getting good torque. You're getting decent speed. And you are getting some nice tech with the beautiful color display with the NFC cards. All for a good low budget price. The other thing the bike has is it does have pretty good looks. I think it's a very stylish bike. I like the Talon branding. I like the 757 branding because, you know, I'm an aircraft mechanic. I noticed that they have another bike that is 787, so I can see that they are kind of going with a theme there. Overall, guys, I do think the bike has a nice stylish look to it. The frame is pretty cool, looks pretty good. Let's try this thing over a speed bump here. Felt just fine. All right, let me hop on this golf cart path over here. We'll hit the real rough spot. We'll see how it handles that. Oops, missed my turn. All right, all of this is really bad right here, guys. Really bad. And you know what? Didn't feel bad at all on the bike. The bike totally absorbed all of those bumps. I haven't found any sort of cruise control on the bike, but you can definitely take your hands off. The bike is very stable. It'll just keep rolling out like this, no problem. All right, guys, the bike is nice and comfortable to ride on this sidewalk. Haven't really felt much of these bumps at all. Here's a big bump. Nothing. Here's a couple more. The suspension is tuned pretty good, guys. I can hit these bumps directly. Here's a couple more. Not bad at all. It's got a nice, comfortable ride. It doesn't feel harsh when you hit these bumps. All right, we're here at the bottom of the hill. Let's try it with throttle only. We are on level 5. Pulling us up, I'm not pedaling. Here comes the steepest part. And we made it up, guys. Rolling at 9 miles an hour. For everyone new to the channel, this is the tallest hill in town. There's not very many hills around here, but this is where the cell phone tower's at. I'm definitely gonna have to say a couple of the highlights that stand out to me so far about this bike is that the ride quality of the bike is pretty dang good for a budget e-bike. The other thing is it just feels like a nice torquey e-bike. It's not the fastest e-bike in the world. It's not hitting 40 miles an hour or anything like that. But the general torque in the range that most people are gonna be riding in, it feels pretty good. It feels pretty strong. So yeah, it's a lot of fun taking these e-bikes down these dirt roads like this. This one feels right at home on this dirt road, guys. Running quick, running comfortable. All right, guys, it's getting pretty late out here. I have put 12 miles in on this ride so far. I'm gonna go ahead and ride this thing out, put some more miles on it for you, and I will be back with my final range and thoughts on the bike in just a minute. This is what your headlight looks like after dark, guys. The bike does have a nice bright headlight and it does have a nice wide beam to it. All right, guys, I made it home on the Talon T757. It got dark outside, so I'm gonna finish this video in my garage. Let me show you what we did for range on this ride. I did end up getting 21 miles of range on this ride. It is showing 3 battery bars left out of 6. Under load, it is dropping down to 2 battery bars out of 6. So this bike is easily gonna get somewhere between 20 and 30 miles of range. Half of the ride was done on pedal assist 5 at high speeds. And then the second half of the ride, after 12 miles, I did turn it down to pedal assist level 3. Pedal assist level 3 gave you a real comfortable riding speed of about 20 miles per hour, guys. I felt like that was a nice cruising speed for this bike. If you did ride the bike on the lower pedal assist levels for the whole ride, you are going to get significant range out of the bike, somewhere between 30 and 40 miles of range possibly. But riding it the way that I did today, which was mixed riding, I did get 21 miles and I have these 3 battery bars left. All right, guys, so let me give you my final thoughts on the bike. The bike does have a real comfortable ride. Even though it is a more basic suspension setup on this one, I thought the bike rode really well over the bumps. I did take it down the gravel road as well, and the bike rode really nice on the gravel road as well. Another thing I liked about this bike a lot is it feels like this motor on this one is really torquey, really punchy. When you hit that throttle, you do get that little kick in your pants on this one. The overall top speed was not super high, guys. It only went 26 miles per hour with me on it. I do weigh 215 pounds, and it went 26 miles per hour GPS verified. It might go 28 miles per hour with somebody that's just a little bit lighter than me. But that being said, the torque of the bike, the way the bike feels just when you're in your average riding speeds, the bike feels nice and torquey. It did really well on the trail riding and the off-roading. It did really well on the hill climbing. The bike went 19 miles per hour on my hill climb test. That's a really good speed, guys. A lot of bikes that claim 750 watts only give you 13 or 14 miles per hour up the hill. This one went 19 miles per hour up the hill. I was impressed with that. Another great feature this bike has, guys, is it does have that nice color display. That thing looks really nice, and it does have those NFC cards for security. Right now, this bike is priced at under $700 on their website, guys. So if this is the e-bike for you, I will put the link for this Talon T757 in the description below the video. Please hit like and subscribe to the channel for more e-bike and scooter content like this. I really do appreciate you guys watching. I will catch you in the next one.